Alexis Christoforous, Paul Sweeney, live here in our Bloomberg Interactive Broker studio. Lots of retailers reporting earnings over these days, as John Tucker's been reporting. TJX, owner of TJ Maxx, raised its full-year guidance earnings per share outlook after better-than-expected results, citing shoppers turning to discounters due to economic uncertainty. I look at the stock. It's up 3.3% today. It's up 15% year-to-date, 52-week high. Seems like all is good at TJX. Let's break it down with Mary Ross Gilbert. She's a senior equity analyst. She covers the retail space for Bloomberg Intelligence. She's based out there in our Los Angeles bureau. Mary, it looks like TJX is doing pretty well here. What'd you hear from the company?
Yes, Paul, you're absolutely right. TJX is hitting it out of the park. This is a company that just executes seamlessly and consistently, something in retail that's very, very difficult to do. They saw strength across all categories, across all income groups, all age groups, and they know how to get the merchandise right by store, by region. So they have a terrific planning and allocation. They sort of emphasize that. And another key point, because they raised their guidance not only for sales, but also on the margin side, and there was such a huge fear with tariffs, they only source probably less than 10% of their sales come from, or their merchandise is something they directly source. They were able to buy better, which means they got better deals. That means there's so much availability out there, and it's something we've observed in our channel checks. And when you look at the shopping hauls on television and on YouTube, and you see the incredible brands that are available, and they really are across good, better, and best. So you can get anything from Puma, Adidas, Nike, all the way up to Yves Saint Laurent and Gucci. So it's, and TJX really, really wins across all that. So strength across, all their channels and internationally. I mean, Canada was up 9% in comp sales.
I want to ask you about a possible headwind, though, because it seems like they're firing on all cylinders. But I know that TJX mentioned in the past about a key demographic, the Hispanic customer. They were concerned that maybe immigration policy was going to keep them home or not spend as much. Did they mention anything about that on the earnings call?
Yeah, well, the earnings call wasn't quite finished when, I came in here. So I missed the point that it was a question that was brought up. I didn't see it. I don't think they saw any weakness as a result of that. I know it's been a big concern, not only for TJX, as you brought up, Alexei, but also for Ross and for Burlington, and probably even more so for Burlington, because they really skew to a lower income consumer, and they're due to report next week, and so we should learn more on that.
Mary, I always think the job of a retail analyst like you is really tough, because not only do you have to do the regular stuff as an analyst, like get the earnings estimates kind of right and all the financial analysis, but you kind of have to have an opinion on like who's good at picking out the right fashion to even put in the store in the first place. What is TJX doing so well, do you think?
Well, they have the most amazing buying team, and so they have sort of like a buying academy where they teach their buyers. They have to go through, I think it's like 3 years, maybe even up to 7 years of work that they do with these buyers. So the pricing that they work on and the product that they're buying is really something that is steeped in experience, history. They also invest in systems, so that means technology, logistics, to make sure that they can get this all right. Because you can imagine that if they're shipping multiple merchandise, you got to have fresh drops, because these customers will shop multiple times a week because it's that freshness that brings them in. So yes, TJX is the leader. They're the largest in the world. I mean, they'll probably hit 60 billion in revenues this year, up from 56 billion last year. And they keep increasing the number of potential store openings they see. Previously, they said, we think we have another 1,200 stores to open. Now they're saying it's another 1,800 stores to open around the country, around the globe, in their existing markets. So yes, this company really has the expertise in doing it right.
Is there a digital strategy here? Because I remember, I'm sure you do too, Mary, when you would go online to try to find out what TJ Maxx had, and there was nothing there because you always had to go in the store. to find out what they had. I think they had to step up their game, right, because of Amazon and others online. But what is the digital strategy, if anything, at TJ Maxx and TJX?
Alexa, that's a good question. So actually, TJX has a digital strategy. It's across all their brands except for home goods. And so it's about, I think it's just under 5% of sales, so it's very small. But they also saw strength in this quarter on their e-com business. So they do have an e-com business. You can go on it, and you can shop anything you want on there. Now, you can't say that you want to shop by brand, but you can select, let's say that you want to just buy the ultra luxe, merchandise that they have there, and you'll see Christian Dior sunglasses. You'll see, like I mentioned, on the handbag size, Balenciaga. So you will be able to find what you want on the high end, also on the low end, but you'll have to do it by price points, by sorting that way, because they're not allowed to necessarily have that ability to sort by brands. So you will see they have a robust online business, and it's around the globe. Now the key is that they're a key differentiator in that regard. Remember that it's still very small, and that the vast majority of their sales, more like 96% or so, are being generated in store. But nobody else in off-price, other than the rack, the Nordstrom rack, has e-commerce capabilities. All the rest, it's strictly a bricks and mortar model.
Mary, thanks so much for joining us. As always, appreciate your thoughts. Mary Ross Gilbert, Senior Equity Analyst covering the retail. She's one of the best out there, folks, so we appreciate getting a few minutes of her time.